This is the Coleman Lighted Instant Up Northstar 6-person darkroom tent. And I'm going to show you how to set it up and pack it away. Let's get started.
Hit it.
Hey folks, Ben from Snowy's here today on a beautiful sunny day down at the Brownhill Creek Tourist Park in Adelaide's leafy eastern suburbs. It's a great place to stop over if you're passing through the area, set up your tent, park your caravan, or even just for a weekend getaway. I've got some products here today from Coleman that I'm showing you. It's a long name, it's the Coleman Instant Up Lighted Northstar 6 PV tent with darkroom technology. It's an awesome tent that sleeps up to 6 people. Probably a comfortable 4-person tent though, sets up quickly. It's got a vestibule at the front for storage and a darkroom technology on the fabric that makes it nice and dark inside the tent so you can sleep in. I'm going to show you how to set it up today. This is how it comes when you get the tent. It weighs about 20 kilos, about 135 centimeters in length and about 25 centimeters by 25 centimeters in height and depth. I'll start by showing you what comes in the bag. So inside the bag, all tied up with a couple of ties here, you get the main portion of the tent. This is the inner and the frame all together. This is your fly sheet here. You get the awning poles and the poles you need to set at the vestibule at the front of the tent. This little mesh panel here is a gear loft that goes up in the ceiling inside the tent. A couple of doormats, bag of pegs, and this is the battery pack you need to run the integrated lighting system. This takes 4 D-cell batteries, but you can also use a power pack for this. The first thing I need to do is spread out the inner tent and peg the 4 corners out. So when we're spreading the inner out, we just need to orient the tent correctly. So we stand it up so that this top hub is standing upwards. This is what will form the peak of the tent. And just let the arms fall to the side. Don't force them, let them fall out. And just work out where the doorway is. We can see there's a doorway here. So I'm just going to spin the tent around. So the door's facing the front there. And then I'll pull each of these corners out and peg them in place. I will just mention the pegs that come with your Instant Up tent. They're fairly lightweight pegs. They're not too bad for average ground, but if you're using really hard grounds or particularly soft ground, you're going to need some heavier duty pegs or even sand pegs. But for the ground I've got here today, they're going to do the job. So I've got all 4 corners pegged in now. So now we need to come to the frame in the center here, and we just pull these legs up and invert these knuckles back the other way. We do that on all 4 legs, and the tent starts to take some shape. From this point, we go to each leg here and we extend it out. We can see the little instant tent sticker here and the hole below it. If we extend this out, we'll see a silver button will click into place. So we've got the inner tent all set up now. So we're gonna grab our fly sheet. We just gotta orient this the right way. Now we know the front of the tent by these plastic knuckles. This form part of the vestibule that's gonna sit at the front of the tent here. So we just need to make sure they are to the front of the tent, and then we can pull the fly over the top. And once we've got the fly roughly in place, if we just fold the fly back on each corner at each pole and find these Velcro tabs up underneath. Now these go around the frame of the tent to aid with the structure. So the first one goes around the top between the knuckle and the first clip here. That around there, and there's a second one. If we just follow the seam down the side of the tent, we find a second one, and that goes just above our little instant tent sticker there. And from there we get to the bottom, and there's a plastic clip that goes around the metal loop at the bottom of the tent there. We do that on all 4 legs. So I've got a handful of extra pegs. Now I'm going to go around to the base of the tent and peg all these out. Now there's 3 pegs on each side around this little panel here, which is the circle ventilation system. So we put 1, 2, 3 pegs in here. It's probably worth pointing out not to peg these out too tightly. They're not designed to take a lot of strain. They're just designed to hold this ventilation point out. And then at the rear of the tent, we have 2 more pegs. And we pull this out a bit further. This creates a bit of a storage vestibule at the rear here, so I've got a bit of space under here. There's actually a second entrance at the rear of the tent here. Once we've got all them in place, we can set the vestibule up at the front. Instead of the vestibule at the front, we need to grab some of our poles here. Now the ones we don't need yet are these ones here with the metal spigot on the top. They're for the awning at the front of the tent. What we need for the vestibule are these 2 little fiberglass, or this fiberglass composite pole here, which is a flexible bit that goes over the top. And these 2 metal poles here, which are joined, and they don't have the spigot at the top. Now these go into the plastic hub that features on the fly sheet here. The flexible fiberglass one goes across the top, the metal one's on each side. And I've put this pole through the sleeve across the front of the vestibule, and I've just noticed there is a difference with this knuckle with which way around it goes. One side's just a normal hole, but this side here has got some ribs inside of it. That's going to fit this pole here far better than the steel poles. So that's the end we've got to put into the end of the flexible pole section there. And once we've inserted the metal pole in one end here, we stand it up, and there's a pin at the base of the tent here that the other end goes into. It might be handy to have a second set of hands here just to hold the frame up. It goes in like so. So we've got the frame in place now. There's a C-clip on each side here, and then we've just got to put 2 pegs in at the front to peg the vestibule out into place. So that's the Coleman Lighted Instant Up Northstar 6P Darkroom Tent, all set up and ready to sleep in. We can take it one step further though and use these awning poles and the extra guy ropes that came with the tent. And we can set this doorway here up as an awning at the front. We could also do the same thing at the rear. We get 2 poles, so we'd have to set one or the other up. I'm going to set the front up here for you now so that we've got a shaded entry into the tent. And that is our Coleman Lighted Instant Up 6P Northstar Darkroom Tent. Pretty much all set up apart from a few things. Firstly, guy ropes. On a windy day or pretty much any time you should use the guy ropes. There's actually 3 of these on each side, one on the front vestibule there and one on each corner of the tent at the rear here. And the other thing you can do is set these windows up slightly differently. Now there's one on each of these on each side. So firstly you can have it zipped closed like this for full protection in bad weather. If we undo the zips on each side and release the little Velcro tab that features in the middle at the center here, we can roll this up completely right up and out of the way. There's little tabs at the top here to secure it in place so we got ventilation through the tent. The other alternative is to use the little guy ropes that are featured on the corner here and peg these out as a little weather protected sort of vestibule over the window so we can allow a bit of weather protection and still get breeze through the tent. The last thing we got to talk about with setup are the simple things. There's a few doormats here. They got little peg points around the side so we can just peg them in front of the front and rear entrances. There's a little gear loft here. Now there's plastic clips on the side. They marry up with little plastic loops that feature up inside the tent, and this then hooks up there as a little gear loft like this that you can store stuff up and out the way. And also a battery pack. So if we're using this battery pack, we want to put 4 D-size batteries in there. It's got a little USB plug on the end here. So you could also use your own rechargeable power pack to power the lights inside. That is how you set up the Coleman Lighted Instant Up Northstar 6P Darkroom Tent. Pack up's almost just as easy, everything in reverse. I'll start by pulling the awning and the vestibule down. So I've got the awning down, I'll just collapse the vestibule now. So we come around to the poles at the side here, unclip the C-clip, pull the peg out, or the pin out, sorry, from the base of the pole there, and then we remove these from the knuckle. We do the same on the other side and then slide this pole out from through the sleeve here. So now we got the vestibule collapsed. We can go around and take the fly sheet off. So we unpeg it on the bottom here. Got to remember to undo our Velcro tabs up underneath here and remove any pegs from around the base. So got all the pegs and everything out. I'm just going to pull the fly off and fold it up now. I'll just grab our battery pack out. It's probably going to make folding it up easier if we remove the battery pack before we roll it. I'm going to leave a door open. It allows the air to escape as the tent collapses down, and I've still got pegs in the corners. It's always a good idea to leave pegs in for as long as you can, just in case the wind picks up. That's when it can end up damaging your tent. So from this point, we go around to each corner and we collapse the frame down by pushing the silver button on each of these and allowing the tent to lower down. So all the poles are lowered down in the corner now. We can go around and invert each of these knuckles backwards on itself so that the frame starts to collapse right down. And from this point, I'm pretty comfortable taking the pegs out of each corner. And from this point, we grab the corners of the tent, fold them in on themselves as well, and we pull it all together into the middle of the tent, flattening the fabric out as we go so that it rolls up nice and neatly. Once we've got them all to the middle, we stand this hub up a bit more, pull all the poles in, keep them all together as best you can, pull this fabric out and then just lay the frame down on its side. And with this fabric here, what you want to do is try and lay it out so you've got a bit of a diamond shape. So kind of got this diamond or square shape here now, so the fabric's nice and flat. If you take your time to do this, it's going to make rolling it up much easier and it's going to roll up much smaller to get back in the bag. If you now fold the top up to where the frame finishes here. Fold one side over and then roll it up. So now we can put everything back in the bag. I do like to put the fly sheet in first so that there's less chance of that getting caught up in the zipper as we do it up. One end of this bag's padded. I like to use that end for the frame here so that it's padded against anything it might be rubbing against. So I'll put the fly in and then the tent on top, then everything else in around the edge. That went back in the bag pretty easily. That is how you set up and pack away the Coleman Lighted Instant Up Northstar Darkroom 6-person tent. I did that all by myself pretty easily. You can grab these online at snowies.com.au at our lowest prices every day. If you like that video, subscribe to our channel. You'll get all of our latest and greatest information. Got any questions? Let us know down in the comments below, or check out some of our other Instant Up videos like this one down here.